And now, have a listen to the behind-the-scenes prep of our upcoming episode, Building a Zionist Curriculum for Seth Rogen.
No, I classify Jews as kind of soft Jews and sinewy Jews. Like Israelis are very like they're like leathery and like they're
tough
muscular,
though, man. They're tough.
They're veiny and muscular and Yeah, no, I put them in like a tough.
They don't even care if we're religious. You know what I mean? It's like, could you imagine living in Israel? Would you ever go live in Israel?
No, it would be. No, there are nice parts, and I think for me, it just seems very like an antiquated thought process. Like, if it is for religious reasons, I don't agree with it because I think religion is silly. If it is for truly the preservation of Jewish people, it makes no sense because, again, you don't keep something you're trying to preserve all in one place. Trying to keep all these things safe. I'm going to put them in my blender and hope that that's the best place to. And I also think that as a Jewish person, like, I was fed a huge amount of lies about Israel my entire life. You know? Yeah. They never tell you that. Oh, by the way, there were people there.
I get frightened to talk about it. You know, you start.
I know.
And we're afraid of Jews.
I'm afraid of Jews. Sorry to be. Aside from James Caan, we have no one to be afraid of.
Yeah.
If anyone could say whatever the fuck they want about this shit, it should be two famous Jewish people who, you know, if anyone's getting rounded up first, it's our fucking asses. We are outwardly Jewish.
And they're just like kind of raising their own internal challenges with Israel that all of us have. Sure.
We mark Israel's history by its wars. You know, you would never do that about any other country. And that Israel's wars, though they are important, basically you got to teach everything. And that it's all part of what Israel is. And by only focusing on one, you're missing out on huge swaths of what Israel's all about.
And I think that what he's missing is the truth about the beauty of Zionism with all of its challenges. Like, all of us know about the volatility and how hard it is. But like, there's something about creating this melting pot that has just done something to Jewish culture that nothing has ever been able to do. He knows how to like share an internal conversation with the Jewish world. And that's something that's really hard. No one cares about all like the shtuyot that he talks about until he like questions Israel. He talks about like the untalkable. And it's these things where like everyone's okay with it, but like no one will talk to their parents about it. To have a candid conversation like that is something that's really powerful in what Seth Rogen does. That's something that we want to do on this podcast.
What's the big deal? So what are we discussing and what's the big deal? In 3 seconds or less, Noam. In the not Noam way, what are we talking about and what's the big deal? Because you've mentioned 500 things that you want to mention, and I don't know what's going on in your...
Everyone is thinking exactly what he said about his criticism of Israel, that it's dangerous. I wouldn't want to send my kids there. I also have an issue with the Jewish education that I had. What's special about Seth Rogen? Have like a candid conversation, expose kind of like the kishkas of what we're all thinking to everyone. And it's like what he's been doing in all of his movies. And finally, he like brought it to Israel.
We'll do the beer thing when we do the introduction later on.
What later on? I have a beer here.
Yeah, I don't have a beer though.
Yeah, but what? I need to drink this beer.
I mean, I'm happy to go get a beer. Hold on 1 second. Let me run out and get a beer. I should be drinking a Vancouver beer. It's called Pompous Ass.
That's like Mark Maron.
Let's do this because I'm running out of time.